the 5 main reasons why your legs never grow, and the only 4 exercises you need to fix it. Many men hate leg day. It's no wonder we're used to hearing that old joke about showing up at the gym to train legs, but ending up tripping on the squat rack, and before they know it, they're doing incline bench press. Deep down, they know that strong, well-developed legs are one of the most aesthetic muscle groups for building a respectable physique. After all, nobody wants to look like an inverted triangle. Jokes aside, it's very common, even for those who train with more dedication, to spend years without seeing real results. This happens because of some main execution errors and also anatomical knowledge when choosing exercises and putting together the workout. That's why today you'll see the 5 main reasons why your legs aren't growing and the only 4 exercises you really need to fix this once and for all. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, we'll explain exactly how to put together and divide this training throughout the week. Before we start, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Mistake number 1: inadequate training split. The first major problem preventing your legs from growing is trying to train all muscle groups in a single day. Many people, especially men, dedicate only 1 weekly session to legs, putting quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves all in the same session. The issue is that when you do this, the first exercises of the workout receive all your energy and mental focus, while the muscle groups worked at the end suffer dramatically because you're already physically exhausted. Think about it. You start with heavy squats, giving it your all, then go to the leg press, putting those 8 or 10 plates on each side, and when you finally get to the hamstring exercises, you can barely complete a decent leg curl. And the calves? Those usually become just an afterthought, done without the slightest effort when your energy reserves have already been completely drained. The result is completely disproportionate development. Your quadriceps do receive adequate stimulus because they were prioritized, but the posterior chain is underdeveloped, the calves look like toothpicks, and the glutes don't reach even half their growth potential. This imbalance isn't just aesthetic, it also creates an increased risk of knee and lower back injuries. The smarter split is to dedicate 1 day exclusively to quadriceps and glutes, where you can apply maximum intensity and volume to these muscle groups without compromising training quality. Mistake number 2: neglecting cardiorespiratory conditioning. Many people don't realize it, but a weak cardiorespiratory system can be the biggest limiter of your leg training. During compound exercises like squats, leg press, lunges, and hack squats, a huge number of muscle groups are involved simultaneously. These movements require not only muscular strength, but also an efficient cardiovascular system to meet the gigantic demands for oxygen and nutrients of the working muscles. When your conditioning is poor, the body simply can't sustain the effort necessary for truly intense sets. What happens? Failure happens before you even reach real muscular fatigue. Let me give you a practical example. You load the bar for a heavy squat. The first 3 or 4 repetitions are smooth, you're strong and focused. But as the set progresses, your breathing becomes labored, your heart rate shoots up uncontrollably, and you need to stop at the 6th or 7th repetition, not because your legs reach their limit, but because you literally can't breathe. Your cardiorespiratory system became the weak link in the chain, preventing you from adequately stimulating the leg muscles. And it doesn't stop there. Deficient cardiovascular conditioning also negatively impacts your recovery between sets and between workouts. You take much longer for your heart rate to normalize, which means longer intervals and less total training volume. Mistake number 3: inadequate rest time. There's a very common belief that resting less between sets and feeling that intense muscle burn is the key to hypertrophy. This idea is completely wrong and may be sabotaging your results. The burning sensation you feel when you shorten intervals too much is mainly related to the accumulation of lactate and metabolic byproducts, not necessarily an effective stimulus for muscle growth. When you rest only 30 or 40 seconds between sets of squats or leg press, What happens is that your body doesn't have enough time to replenish energy stores, stabilize heart rate, and allow support systems to recover. The result is that the second set already comes with compromised performance, the third even worse, and in the end, you're doing mediocre sets that don't generate the necessary stimulus for hypertrophy. Leg workouts, especially with heavy compound exercises, involve large muscle groups and create a brutal demand on the entire body. Besides local muscle fatigue in the legs, these exercises create a significant systemic load that affects the cardiovascular system, the central nervous system, and other support muscle groups like the spinal erectors and the core. All this impact requires a longer rest period so that your body can recover adequately and you can execute the next set with the same intensity and technical quality. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with health in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Mistake number 4, ignoring the eccentric phase of the movement. Here's a mistake I see all the time at the gym. People load up the squat and leg press with weight, but when it comes to the descent, they practically let the weight fall freely, thinking that only the explosive ascent matters. This is training the ego, not training for results. The eccentric phase of the movement, which is the controlled descent, represents about 40 to 50% of your total hypertrophy potential. When you ignore this phase, you're literally throwing half your gains in the trash. The eccentric phase causes greater positive muscle damage, that necessary micro-trauma that leads to the recovery and growth process. Additionally, during the eccentric phase, you can control loads approximately 20 to 30% greater than you can lift in the concentric phase, which means greater mechanical tension on the muscles. To execute correctly, you should control the descent in at least 2 to 3 seconds, feeling the muscle elongate and work under constant tension. In the squat, this means descending in a controlled manner to the final position, maintaining tension in the legs throughout the entire path. In the leg press, it means resisting the weight as it descends, not simply letting the platform drop on its own. Mistake number 5, wrong exercise selection. The last fundamental mistake preventing your legs from growing is believing that squats, leg press, and hack squats alone will develop all parts of your legs in a balanced way. Although these exercises are excellent and absolutely necessary for quadriceps and glutes, they don't provide sufficient stimulus for proper hamstring development. These movements involve multiple joints like the knee and hip, and although the hamstrings are engaged during execution, they don't receive the necessary load to truly grow. Recent studies focusing on the real impact of these movements on hypertrophy make it very clear that muscle electrical activation doesn't directly translate to growth. This means that even with the hamstring contracting during a squat, it's not being overloaded enough to drive muscular development. This imbalance is extremely common and extremely harmful. Most leg workouts prioritize the quadriceps with multiple intense compound exercises, while dedicating only 1 or 2 superficial exercises to the hamstrings, usually executed without real effort at the end of the session when energy has already run out. The result is an aesthetic disproportion where you have developed quadriceps, but the back of the legs looks flat and underdeveloped. Now that you know the 5 main mistakes, let's move on to the necessary exercises. Exercise number 1, hack squat. The hack squat is probably the best exercise you can do to develop massive quadriceps with safety and consistent progression. We chose this movement instead of the free squat for some very practical reasons. First, it's considerably safer because the machine guides the movement and offers back support, dramatically reducing the risk of lower back injuries. Second, it allows you to progress in load much more confidently because you don't need to worry about balancing a bar on your back or maintaining complex stability. The hack squat works the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, and rectus femoris intensely, which are the 4 muscles that make up the quadriceps. Additionally, it also strongly recruits the gluteus maximus, which is the largest muscle in the human body and essential for strength and power. To execute correctly, position yourself in the machine with your back supported on the padded backrest and your feet on the platform at a comfortable width, approximately shoulder width or a little wider. Release the machine and descend in a controlled manner, taking 2 to 3 seconds on the descent, until your thighs are at least parallel to the ground or a little below if your mobility allows. On the ascent, push through your heels and rise explosively, but controlled, without completely locking your knees at the top to maintain constant tension on the muscles. The main mistakes to avoid are letting your knees collapse inward during the movement, which puts dangerous stress on the ligaments, rounding your lower back when descending too deep without having adequate mobility, and placing your feet too far forward on the platform, which transfers excessive load to the lower back instead of the quadriceps. Perform 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, resting 2 to 3 minutes between sets to maintain training quality. Exercise number 2, dumbbell stiff leg deadlift. The dumbbell stiff leg deadlift is absolutely crucial for developing the hamstrings and ensuring complete and proportional legs. The great advantage of this exercise is that it stretches the posterior chain to the maximum, creating intense tension in the hamstrings throughout the entire range of motion. This movement primarily works the 3 hamstring muscles, which are the biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and semimembranosus, in addition to intensely recruiting the glutes and spinal erectors. To execute correctly, stand holding a dumbbell in each hand with your arms extended in front of your thighs. Keep your legs almost completely extended with just a slight bend in your knees, never locked. Lean your torso forward, pushing your hips back, keeping your lower back in a neutral position or with a slight natural curve, never rounded. Lower the dumbbells in a controlled manner along your legs until you feel an intense stretch in your hamstrings, usually when your torso is close to horizontal position. Return to the starting position by strongly contracting your hamstrings and glutes. An important tip is to imagine you're pushing the floor with your heels during the ascent. This maximizes hamstring recruitment. Perform 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions, focusing more on feeling the stretch and contraction than using maximum loads. The main mistakes are rounding your lower back during the descent, which puts dangerous load on the spine, bending your knees too much, turning the movement into a squat, and using excessive load that compromises range of motion. Exercise number 3, leg extension. The leg extension is the perfect complement to the hack squat because it completely isolates the quadriceps, allowing you to work this muscle group to failure without limitation from other factors. While the hack squat involves multiple muscle groups and has a high systemic demand, the leg extension puts all tension directly on the quadriceps. This exercise works all 4 quadriceps muscles with special emphasis on the vastus medialis, that teardrop-shaped muscle that's on the inner part of the thigh just above the knee. To execute correctly, sit in the machine adjusting the backrest so your back is fully supported and the machine's rotation axis aligns with your knee axis. Position the padded roller just above your ankles. Hold the side handles and extend your legs to the fully extended position at the top, intensely contracting the quadriceps for 1 second. The main mistakes are using excessive load and doing the movement with swing and momentum, which removes all tension from the muscle, not descending to complete amplitude, robbing part of the stimulus, and extending the legs explosively without controlling the eccentric phase. Perform 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, prioritizing mind-muscle connection and feeling the quadriceps working. Exercise number 4, hip thrust. The hip thrust is indisputably the best exercise to isolate and develop the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the human body. Having well-developed glutes isn't just an aesthetic matter, it's fundamental for strength, power, and lower back health. Additionally, a large and strong gluteus maximus significantly increases the EPOC effect, which is post-exercise oxygen consumption, making you burn more calories even at rest. This exercise primarily works the gluteus maximus and secondarily the hamstrings and spinal erectors. To execute correctly, position your back against a bench with the bench edge aligned just below your shoulder blades. Place a barbell or weight plate over your hips, using a pad or towel for protection. Position your feet on the floor at shoulder width, knees bent. Push through your heels and raise your hips until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, intensely contracting your glutes at the top and holding for 1 second. Descend, controlled until almost touching the floor, and repeat. The secret is to really squeeze your glutes at the top of the movement with maximum force. The main mistakes are hyperextending your lower back at the top by arching your back too much, which removes tension from the glutes and overloads the spine, not reaching complete amplitude by stopping well above the neutral line, and using your hamstrings more than your glutes by not focusing on the contraction. Perform 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions with progressive load. Bonus recommendations. This is a great base workout to develop complete and proportional legs, but as we explained in the first mistake on our list, the ideal is for you to make a better split throughout the week to maximize results. Particularly, I see 2 extremely viable options depending on your availability and training preferences. The first option is to divide leg training by muscle group, dedicating 1 day exclusively to quadriceps and glutes, where you would do the hack squat, leg extension, and hip thrust with adequate volume. On another day, you would focus on hamstrings and calves, including the dumbbell stiff leg deadlift, lying leg curl or seated leg curl, and 2 specific exercises for calves, like standing calf raise and seated calf raise. The second option, which I particularly recommend for those who want to give 2 complete weekly stimuli to each muscle group, is to divide between our workout that we just presented and another complete leg workout focused on different exercises and angles. For example, on Wednesday you execute the workout we presented, which has greater focus on quadriceps through the hack squat and leg extension. On Saturday, you can put together a second workout focusing more on hamstrings and glutes, including leg press with feet higher on the platform for greater glute activation, seated leg curl and lying leg curl to work the hamstrings at different flexion angles, hip abduction machine to isolate the glutes, and finishing with calf exercises like seated calf raise, which works the soleus, and standing calf extension, which emphasizes the gastrocnemius. Performing this second split recommendation, you manage to give 2 weekly and complementary stimuli to each leg muscle group, taking advantage of the anabolic windows and ensuring that no muscle is neglected. If you like this and want to also discover a complete chest workout based on science, we left a video appearing right now on the screen showing each of them better. Be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.